had to redo this video because a mid-coast legal advocate was trying to expose my new number. I think it was deliberate. I've had to go through this years. They don't have reasoning to prank call me on this new device. So they need an alibi for me getting these prank calls. And right now they're being forced to use these scammers and have these scammers call to violate because no one's supposed to have this new number. Since I've been going through this an extended amount of time, I know what's happening because you don't repeatedly keep on getting all these scam calls. They're calling you 15 times in 3 minutes. It's obvious what's happening. So then in the past, they tried to validate all these calls saying someone that went on the web and malice and put my number out there because I incriminated all these scammers that someone set up to prank call me. I know that's an incredible story. So they need validation on why all these different businesses was calling me. So the con was someone put online, and then I was getting tortured by all these different businesses. I got up to the most that I've got is almost 300 calls in one day. Yet law enforcement is nowhere to be found. Okay, so this is what happened.
Period.
So
My device has to approve this, and
it's glitching the screen because
it wasn't approved.
I'm trying to call. They cut the data off. I'm trying to call legal representation.
So they just cut off the data when I was trying to make the call and get the number. So keep in mind that it used to be a substantial amount of fear because they would come from nowhere and knock on hotel rooms, come to shelters and schemes in multiple different locations, bus stops, with no reasoning. They were just illegally monitoring my device, knew that it was no witnesses of their outrageous behavior, and wanted to take my freedom for reporting crimes they repeatedly committed. So it would be fear in my heart to be on my device, with everyone else oblivious of what I experienced, because they just come on their own. Just come out, then, when they got caught and that started enlisting the hotels to be in cahoots and pretend like the hotels called on them when I'm exposing crimes. Thank you. So I tried to minimize the location, and then my device does not want me pulling it up.
Look at how it is on my phone. This happens all the time on YouTube.
It's not approved. They don't want you to see what I'm looking up. And they don't want me to look it up, so I'm deprived of the search results until they can control it, knowing you wouldn't believe my story. If my device stopped recording when another crime was... See, I don't know how they're doing it, but they manipulate the systems online and on my device. So when I'm calling these locations, it glitches. And they were calling it, and they just stopped the recording.
Voice automated system is what I'm speaking of. It's not letting me place calls. They want me to do it the hard way.
I can do it. It's because they want to.
It's supposed to open and give me information for the organization, but it's not.
So with my sister, I lived with her briefly because I knew my devices were hacked and I wasn't being heard, and it would do.
I don't know what happened.
Okay. Do this. So I got a phone book. My sister went through my things that I had in my suitcase and threw away the phone book. So my sister, she also went through things that I was reading. I kept a journal. So my sister played a mind game and hid my charger, and they used it as a scam to put me out of this location. I had already left a bank that was scamming to keep me from funds in my account. So I came finally with the funds, but they were furious. But they had to concoct reasoning behind being upset. So they hid my charger, and then the lady, her name was Miss Sylvia, my sister's child's father, hid me, pretending like she was mad. But it didn't make, she said that, degraded me and my appearance. And this lady, was bedridden and her appearance wasn't really up to par. But she degraded me, insulted me. And then another red flag, my phone was going dead. She always kept her phone charger in the wall. But she took her phone charger out the wall and it was in her hand right before I walked in, which was peculiar because it means that someone tipped them off that I had just walked in, and this charger that had been in the wall months, she had now had in her hand because she didn't have time to put it up. This is what they used as an alibi to create conflict to put me out when he was mad that I got my funds from the bank.
That was 2018.
Was trying to scheme to deprive me of my funds. Then I said, I don't want to communicate with you in writing because I'm hoarse. They were caught in their con because they were going to say that I gave them wrong information like the other banks did to deprive me of funds I had in my account. So I said, no, I'm hoarse. I only want to communicate with you in writing. She was forced to give me my funds and then threw them at me and demanded that I close my account at Viewpoint Bank on Forest Lane
October of
in Dallas.
2018. October
So my
2018.
abuser was mad that they were forced to give me my funds and listed my family be in cahoots, and they need to stage reasoning to argue with me. And they used that as a charger, as a alibi. So she took her phone. My phone's going dead. He's monitoring my device and can see it remotely. So she has her charger in her hand when I'm walking in the door, and then my charger's missing out my bag. And she starts cussing me out because I'm asking about my charger. And I asked her if I can use hers, which is in her hand, that she allowed me to use. Now I can't. And she's raging and hitting me with her cane. But my aunt jumped on me for going out with a man. So then eventually I called the police on them for their peculiar behavior and withholding mail, which is a felony. After I wrote all over the United States, the police covered for it. And the landlord at that location saying she don't live there and don't get mail here. First off, I don't know you, and who enticed you to come out to try to conceal crimes? People receive mail at all different other locations. How do you know who lives here? Why would you take your time out as a landlord and these apartments to come out and demand that I don't get mail there to help people get away with felonies? Nonetheless, I went to the post office and tried to put holes because I had did this big campaign reporting the government's crimes, got a fax, got on blogs. So I did. Got paid postage, like $100 worth of postage, writing all over the country, and never received one stitch of mail that was vital. So I kind of put a hold on all my vital mail, attorneys, CPS cases, northern things all over the country. So I put 4 holes at the key locations surrounding the closest post office. The post office wouldn't honor the holes, the 4 holes. So I called the police on the post office. Officer Barnett came and told me to leave and cover for it. That's a federal charge.
South Central
So
Patrol
now at all
in
these
Dallas.
locations, they're enticed to deprive me of mail and all other criminal offenses to not get held accountable. So when I told this location that they're committing postal crimes out of corruption, that I can't get my mail, there's a track record and history of it. That they're so crooked, they're depriving a citizen of their right to mail. And they're enlisting all these locations I live in to be in cahoots with that crime.
So I paused it. The reason why I went into that is because someone is manipulating my phone and did not want me having the phone book to instantly get the numbers before they can be manipulated. So that's evidence that someone is controlling my devices and my family. So if I have a phone book hid, why would my family member go through my items and steal a phone book? I walked a great distance catching the bus with that phone book because I perceived that it was something peculiar with my devices. Not only did she steal my phone book, she also stole my charger and used that as an alibi to create a problem to put me out when my abuser was mad. Then I just don't understand why these people, and then both of these women, my sister and this lady, was the most afraid that they were shaken, the most afraid that I've ever seen anyone. And it's like all these people are cracking up. I was fierce. I said, is someone doing something to you? They said no. My sister has came up with other ways to handle her stress, and I don't know what she's doing now, but she's definitely had a substantial amount of stress that she's had to endure from the situation and whatever's happening to her, covering for it, and it has caused some distress and damage to her life. I don't suspect, I have been through an awful lot, but I cannot imagine how painful it is to be forced to call and violate someone that you love. As much as I've been through false arrest, assaults, I would not want to know how that felt. To lie and cover and help conspire with your family member, and you don't know if you or them are going to make it through. Can you imagine how that feels? So, all of the living hell that I've been through, I can't say that I would want to be in their shoes. Because if someone demanded that I lie and slander my son, and I don't know if he's going to live through a situation, that I think that would be extremely painful. And I think that I probably want to be in my situation over being in cahoots with someone, a crime that's committed to someone that I love and conspiring with it. So, I used to be mad at my family, but, I don't want to know how that feels. So back to the reasoning behind this is because I believe she was in cahoots. They knew they were hacking my device and they needed her to hide the phone book to help cover for crimes. If I don't have the phone book, I can't instantly call. They need to set up these calls.
Over and over, year after year. And evidence of that is PNS shelter, withholding mail from Health and Human Services, crime victims compensation, IRS tax return information, and other critical mail. And all kind of other locations doing the same thing. My device is covering for Midcoast until I got my phone. Oh, my device is glitching. It's trying to give a past location so people would, the YouTubers would know where to have a pinpoint or try to pinpoint where I'm at to cause more conflict. It doesn't typically, I have my location off. But it's trying to be messy and pull up things that, to try to, so the YouTubers have an alibi for causing conflict in my environments.
So what's going on is like at Caritas in Austin. I don't tell people about my YouTube channel because what they do is places are scamming that they deny me assistance for exposing crimes. So I no longer I try to hide my identity and who I am. So Caritas claim that they searched me like this random gang stalker since I've been in Victoria. So the random gang stalker claims that she did a search on me. Caritas claim that they did the same thing. That's their alibi to get away with crimes. They don't want it to show a conspiracy that someone is actually controlling my environments like they are. So they used to just scam reasoning. So now what they're saying is that YouTubers are contacting me and finding me. So when they got caught in that, now they're saying that they're psychic. Karita said that I recorded them, but I had told no one about my channel. So they claim they did their own homework as public knowledge on how they got my channel. Like this lady over here that demanded that I take wrong orders says that she just looked me up. The truth of it is it's that this big conspiracy and people are being controlled. That's why I took my time out to explain what's going on. So when I'm putting in my device was trying to let people know the location so they can blame crimes that they're about to set up on these YouTubers doing it that are really people that are set up by the government. I hope I stated that clearly. They want my location to be pinpointed so they can blame all these crimes on me uploading criminal activity on my YouTube channel.
But no one knows about my YouTube channel in this new environment. So they need to scam that YouTubers are calling in, creating havoc so they can scam putouts and all kind of other insanity. So my devices are being controlled and manipulated and trying to help these fake YouTubers find out where I'm located in corruption. I said that my device knows things that it shouldn't because I'm not building up accounts, but it's having things on it that it shouldn't. If the location is off, why is it trying to show a past location when knowing that I'm recording? My device shouldn't know where I'm at. It's brand new. I haven't completely set it up.
Okay, I have to play it again. I don't know what happened. It's glitching. Hold on. So it's games. Now I gotta find out where it started because it closed out. So now I gotta find out where it stopped. Okay, so I'm about to play. I had to find the area again since my device does its own thing to try to conceal crimes. So what happened when I was looking up Mid Coast, it kept glitching. So what they do is they get parties in place. So I looked up Mid Coast Crisis Line and it was hid, and I showed this on my phone. So then my device that is not supposed to know my location deliberately tried to show the people that they already know my past location was Victoria. So they need, nothing. So nonetheless, this was up there and it shouldn't have been. So nonetheless, I'm calling Midcoast, and this is the result of my call to Midcoast. Let's see. My phone did the same thing. Okay, it's still up here. Let me play it.
But the location cut off.
Hold on.
That's my voice. I'm calling the crisis line.
So I'm disguising my voice. I'm doing my own investigation work.
So they're playing games so they can alert Midcoast of what's going on. Look at what it pulled up.
And look at how my phone is doing this.
So they can let Midcoast know if they're racking up charges and they need to cover for their crimes. I'm about to disguise my voice.
It does it on its own.
I put in the crisis line and it's trying to help.
Because you can see that crimes are being committed.
To buy time to alert Midcoast that I'm trying to incriminate them. knowing you never believe my story. I put in there Mid-Coast Family Services and I put crisis line because it brought this address up. Right here's the crisis line. It's playing games to alert Mid-Coast. It's glitching and won't give me the proper search results for the crisis line, so let's call this. It won't call it? Okay, let's call. Yes, I like information on the legal that you offer there.
Okay.
What is the legal that you offer there?
You want to speak to someone in reference to that? What is your name, hon?
It's Mary.
Mary, and your last name?
I'd like to keep that withheld. I just wanted to know about the legal that you offer there.
Well, I have to connect you to her, and she's going to ask me what's in reference to and the name.
Okay, Burnett. Burnett, who's in charge of that? Who's in charge of that?
Okay, conspiracy to violate rights. It's glitch. Okay, I just paused it. Conspiracy to violate rights is a felony. Can you explain why someone asking what the services is, you have to get transferred 3 or 4 times and go through a living hell to find out what services they offer? Is this normal? If you're not deliberately trying to violate their rights and keep them from services in a conspiracy. Okay, let's continue.
You can't speak to a live person with this organization, period. My device has to approve this.
Oh, it started over. So let me find it again.
It wasn't approved.
Okay, my device is being all weird. It had that weird window. Then I closed the window and it was back where I was at. I don't know what's happening.
Who's in charge of that? Who's in charge of that, ma'am?
Let me call her, Miss Rodriguez.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Hang up or press pound for more options.
Good morning, Mid-Coast Family Services. May I help you?
Yes, I'm just trying to get information on the legal that you offer there.
Yes, ma'am. You called earlier, and I connected you to her, but she must be out to lunch, so that's why the recorder picked up.
Okay, as a receptionist, they don't direct you on the legal services that you provide. Is there a website that a party can go to? You have a legal representative there? Is that correct?
That's who she is, ma'am.
If I'm not able to know what is there a particular reason why you don't want people knowing the services that you offer?
Ma'am, I'm not sure what type of legal services are offered.
Okay, is there a website?
Let me let you speak to someone else. Hold on.
Okay.
Patty, how can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to know the legal that you offer there.
What she can do is offer you some legal advice. I'm not sure. What are you looking for? Have you tried legal aid?
I'm so interested in the legal that you offer there. Can you tell me?
I'm sorry, I'm having a hard time hearing you.
Oh, the legal that you offer there. Hold on. Let me get a friend. Yes, ma'am. She's wanting to know about the legal services that you offer there.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I had a hard time hearing her. That's why I was like, huh? Well, now our legal advocate is out to lunch, so she would be the one to discuss this with her.
Is it hidden? How would she be able to find out the legal the service that you offer there? The legal services that you offer there.
What is she looking for? And I can give you some information. What kind of legal advice is she looking for?
This is bizarre. You're not able to tell her the services that you offer for legal?
I answered the phone. The legal department is in another department.
Is there a website to where she can get information? It's just a random call asking the legal that you cater to. Is it a particular reason why you're withholding that information for her?
No, I'm not withholding any information from her. I'm just saying I answer the phone. I don't.
Who would have the knowledge? No one has the knowledge on the legal services that are offered there, and what you cater to.
Connect you. Hold on, please.
Okay. You have to carefully orchestrate this because it's a felony. So you have to carefully articulate your words and then ask someone for year after year what they need to withhold the fact that you're depriving them of services so you don't get your charges. So to ask them what they need, then you have an alibi that we don't offer that for 10 years, and that way you're free and clear for all the felony charges you chose to rack up. But some kind of way they don't think no one will suspect if you're withholding location or location what you did.
This is Eve. Can I help you?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. What services do you offer there?
Can you tell me your name, please?
It's Abby. I'm looking for services.
What kind of services are you looking for, Abby?
I just want to know what you offer there.
Okay, give me a phone number where I can call you back, Abby.
To know the services, you need my number?
Yes, ma'am. Because I need it for my grant.
I'm sorry, ma'am?
I need it for my grant. It's a 36.
Number?
Tell me your last name, Abby.
Bark.
I'm sorry, did you say P?
Bark. B-A-C-K.
Spell that again.
B-A-C-K.
B-A-C-K?
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, what kind of help do you need?
I'd like to know the services that you offer there, the legal services that you give.
Okay, we only help people who have history of domestic violence and sexual assault, and these services are pertaining to that.
Okay, what are they? What do you help do, ma'am?
Are you recording me? Because I do not allow for people to record me.
Let me pause this.
I'm not.
Oh, I can't laugh. They will get viewers. They will come from nowhere. Okay, if I told you, if I'm lying and really trying desperately to try to disguise my voice, how are you going to say I don't authorize you to record me? I'm calling from a different number. Hold on. This is the gang stalker friend. Okay, let me finish recording this. And of course, then what you're speaking of now? I said I don't know what you're speaking of.
Okay. Is it you sounded different when you did not hear my name? I could hear you in the background. So anyway, we offer services to people.
She needed an alibi to know it was me because they're trying to conceal that it is indeed a conspiracy. She's not supposed to know that I'm recording her and why she is a victim's advocate or a legal representative and not doing anything about the countless felonies she's witnessed on my channel and how I'm being violated. So then she realized that she was incriminating herself and then said, I thought you said something from the background that didn't happen as an alibi for her crime. Okay, let me finish playing this.
People who are victims of sexual assault and domestic violence, the services would only pertain to the domestic violence or sexual assault cases that are currently pending. And we offer help with protective orders, with divorces, and we don't personally do them. We refer them out to Texas Fairground Legal Aid or else to the local DA's office. And so it just kind of depends on what exactly you're looking for. And so we do offer other legal services, but it's just on a case-by-case basis on what exactly it is that they need. And we do also do a court accompaniment if it's related to that domestic violence or sexual assault case.
Okay, well, why would you deprive me of all that assistance, Eve? And why would I have to do my own law enforcement to try to get accountability for people that repeatedly do that? Why did you not offer me those services?
Ms. P, I will hang up the phone now because I do not speak to people who lie to me.
You basically lied to me and you're gaslighting me. So I'll let you know how it goes. When the gang stalker friends invite me places, then I experience all this insanity. I get lured out to be disrespected and violated. It's not the same gang stalker friend. There's multiple. I think my devices are remotely controlled and people are enlisted off into this insanity. So nonetheless, since I'm forced to do my own law enforcement and own sting operations, I like I expressed in the other video that, if you're undercover, you don't express to people, look, I'm undercover. They don't get their charges. So I'm being forced into law enforcement and I have to do this so people can get accountability for countless felonies. At first I wasn't doing this and I couldn't obtain evidence. But people need to see what I experience and what these people are doing for profit. So nonetheless, let me go ahead and get ready to go out with this gang stalker friend and I'll let you know how it goes.